Phil, you shuffled the pack today, but it didn't have the desired effect.
No, it didn't. I don't think I shuffled the pack for any other reason apart from we'd lost a couple of games and we've only had one draw in the last three. It's not our form that we're in. That's concerning me. It's the way the opposition are stifling us to a certain extent. We knew what Chorley were going to throw up with. There's no doubt about it. The way Andy organises his team, and he plays a certain style of football to get set pieces, and he's very potent with them set pieces. I think he scored 8 goals this season from corners. How many long throws I don't know. But again, the more you work at it, the more it becomes a problem, And so we broached the subject on Thursday. We dealt with it on Thursday. We dealt with it on Friday. But when it comes to Saturday, push comes to shove, we didn't quite deal with it today. And it wasn't for the one to try. And I thought it was a really a tough game. When we went to go behind, I thought maybe I've selected the wrong formation, but we played our way into the game, and I thought at times Riley was getting on the ball in difficult, important areas where we wanted him to get on the ball, and Ashley Hemmings was causing a problem going in behind, and then we got the equaliser, and you think to yourself, is it your day? Is it your time to push on to win the game, having been a goal behind? And it wasn't to be. I think they came out in the second half, ruffled a few feathers in the first 10 minutes of that second half period, and it's almost like we can't stand up to that. And that's what we need to do. We need to learn from people like Ellis, the centre half, who scored the winning goal, yes, but he's a centre half that's got 7 or 8 goals this season. And when you think about that, I think the combination of all our centre halves have got nowhere near that. So if you want to do the numbers, if you want to do the maths, that's a quite simple way of doing it. At the same time, Ashley Hemmings gets himself his 15th goal of the season, so the potency where he's concerned is there for me to see and everybody else to see. When we did change it and we brought on Rhys Devine, I thought impacted the game very well. And it's one of them where you think to yourself, is it going to be your day? And then next thing you know, set piece comes along and they make it 2-1 and then hang on. I'm almost forlorn with the amount of quality that's going into their penalty box and we're not getting on the end of. I just don't quite understand it. I don't know whether the quality's too much or the quality's not enough, or we're not committed to getting on the end of it, or we are overcommitted. I'm trying to work that out, and I have been trying to work that out all season. And when chances come along, and opportunities to put the ball into dangerous areas, we are, and yet nothing's coming of it. It's not back to the drawing board by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a moment in this season where we've either got to say we're going to be also runs, which I won't accept, or we're going to do something, and we've got 18 games to do something. And what that something is, I don't know at the moment. But when games like this come along, we've got to stand up to the pressure of the game first and foremost, but the tactic of the opposition, and then do what we can do. And I thought we did to a certain extent, but we've lost the game 2-1 again.
It's with these formations, it's very congested in midfield. Is that an area where you just need to get more control of?
Yeah, same with these formations, and I've just spoke with Andy Crease after the game, and I think Andy looks like a normal 4-4-2, if you want to call it normal as you can, at the 4-4-2. Now you can change the shape of midfield if you want to and try and get a hold of the game, but that means you're putting more bodies in there to either win second balls or play football. I think we put an extra one in there, and all three of them, and I'm talking about David Davis, Zach Brown and Riley Reynolds, all three of them can handle the ball, but it had to be in tight areas. But when it came out wide, I thought we did do enough to open them up. I thought the quality of some of the quality from some of the play on the left hand side, in particular in the second half, was outstanding. And you can't ask any more. When Maz Kuya came on, I asked him to impact the game, and he did. Okay, he's hit the post, and was that the moment? Who knows? But at the end of the day, you've got to look at the scoreline and how we got beat, and it was exactly the same at Chorley. We're a goal up. They get a nick a goal, if you want to call it, just before half time, and then beat with 2-1 on a long throw. same old, same old. So it's almost like we haven't learned from the Chorley away exploit, and we have to. It's going to be too late if we don't, but we have to learn from these moments.
And strikers are an easy target for people to have a go at, but you said that you've got 12 goals, 15 goals from the two of them. Is there a real problem, the lack of goals coming from centre-backs at set pieces and the midfield players?
You've got to identify, there's a lot of people have criticised the front two, and I, for the life of me, I don't understand it with 27 goals in terms of the return, but not just the goals in terms of the return, it's the assists as well, and the amount of nous that they have up top. At the same time, I understand it when they're missing chances and people lose faith in them, but more importantly, they're losing confidence. That's not been the case with Amari, that's not been the case with him. They've stood up or stepped up to the plate every time I've asked them to. At the same time, you just hit the nail on the head there. If you look at and analyse, you can't just heavily rely on the front two to win you a game of football and that's it. You've got to have people like Ellis, their centre half, that's going to step up to the plate with half a dozen goals. Half a dozen goals from a set piece is sometimes 18 points, and centre halves have to understand that. At the same time, Cam Candle has come off the field of play with a bandage on his head. I want to see that getting on the end of something in a 6-yard box. That, to me, we've got the quality going in, we've got the movement. Have we got the commitment? The commitment is the final piece in the jigsaw, where you go into them inches situations and you put your head on the thing or put your body on the line. And you can listen to the centre halves if you want to. We haven't got enough goals from centre halves. I don't think the midfield player are contributing overly, but we haven't got enough goals from centre halves and set pieces. And that at this level, or any level, is criminal.
Regroup now, and difficult game at Chester on Tuesday.
Yes, straight away, everyone's moving on quickly and rapidly, and you have to, you can't hang on to whatever today's lesson was, because it's a lesson that we should have learned from at Chorley. Where Chester's concerned, they came here and it was a good game of football. Yes, they're up there at the top of the league and challenging for automatic promotion, if not playoffs. Exactly the same format as what we are. They've been beaten 2-0 today by South Shields, which brings South Shields back into the pack. There'll be twists and turns all the way through. But this for me is a defining week. When we face Chorley, we've now got to face Chester and Alfreton away from home, and then Marine away from home. So 3 games away from home. To a certain extent, I don't know. I don't for 1 minute want to say that the crowd here are poor, because they're not. They've been behind us all year, and over 2,000 again turned up today. We've got to reward that with quality. We've got to reward that with bodies on the line and commitment to the cause, and that's why they'll keep coming. They're seeing good football still, but we're losing 2-1 at home. It ain't good enough. It's got to be better. But now we're three journeys, if you want to call it, 3 away games. I think by the end of the 3 we'll know exactly what's going to happen. We're concerned this season. But with 18 games to go, lots of points to play for, there's no doubt about it. And all is not lost. It's a case of dust ourselves down and get on with it. That's what we did after the Chorley game. Sometimes I look at what we did at Chorley. We played 3 centre-backs. But we didn't have 3 centre-backs. We had Rhys McNally and we had 2 full-backs either side of him. But from that moment, Caleb Richards developed as a centre-back, and yet he's only 5'9", 5'10". So things can come out of bad, when you hit a brick wall and you push comes to shove and everybody's asking, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? Good things can come out of that, and we need something good to come out of today. And if we don't concede a goal from set pieces from now at the end of the season, then that's something good.